And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in radio broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 3,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in radio broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also, this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed preprogrammed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR, specially oriented, resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. As we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. As we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. We pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us a way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Oh, Roger, this is WB4KIM. Whiskey Bravo 4, Kilo, enter your mic. Over.
Roger, KIM, and what's the name there?
Roger, KIM, and what's the name there? Oh, the name fan.
Try that one more time. Kind of had some noise there. Try the name one more time.
Some noise there. Try the name one more time. Oh, Stan for Stanley. Stan, Sierra Tango, Alpha November.
Roger, Stan, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Stan, and whereabouts are you located, sir? Oh, I'm located in Waldorf, Maryland. I guess I'm about 30 miles south of Washington, D.C. Over.
Roger, Stan, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Stan, and what radio are you running today, sir? I have ICOM IC756 Pro.
Roger, 756 Pro. Well, if you would be interested in our setup, you know, and let me just point out something that when you said your name, you know, it's got the S in the front, and I was not hearing that S, so we need to do a little EQing to brighten your audio up a little bit so, you know, it's more articulated. So when you say Sam, people hear that S on the beginning, Roger?
People hear that S on the beginning, Roger? Oh, Roger. Okay. Very well, over.
Yes, sir. So if you're interested in our setup, it starts with you. Is that an older radio or newer radio, sir?
Is that an older radio or newer radio, sir? It's a newer one. Oh, boy. I guess it's several years old now. It has a digital display screen. Over.
Yes, sir. The reason I ask is that we'd like to get you in that transmit bandwidth called wide. 100 to 2900, and that lets your transmitter be all that it can be as far as utilizing the audio spectrum. In other words, if you're not in that wide, and if you would happen to be in a lesser motif like 500 to 2500, then the top end of your audio would be very restricted, and there would be little we could do EQ-wise to make that more articulated, because we have specified in our transmit bandwidth directions that we don't want that. So what we're really looking for is the transmit bandwidth called wide, 100 to 2900. Roger?
100 to 2900. Roger? Roger. I do copy. Over.
Roger. Now, do you happen to know, that would be in menu, settings, transmit, sideband. Right in that area is where you would find your transmit bandwidth situation there. And usually most modern-day radios have like 3 different selections. Among them would be that wide selection that you would want. Roger?
Wide selection that you would want. Roger? Okay, I'm taking note while you are telling me. You said wide bandwidth. You said 100. What would the range is from 100 to what?
100 to 2900. And then it gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So they cut off at 2900, and then that next frequency is 300, and that could be somebody else, in there. So they want to create just a little separation. So that's what's the beautiful thing about that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900, because it lets your transmitter be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight to keep you out of somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Out of somebody else's conversation. Roger? Roger. Thank you very much for that information. And what were those attributes in the menu? You said menu, settings, and what were the other?
Yes, sir. I think it would be I don't know, but logically speaking, I would say a menu, settings, transmit, sideband, and right there would be normally your transmit bandwidth that you're looking for. And then as you continue on that line, the next one would be your transmit equalization page, just for your FYI. Roger?
Page, just for your FYI. Roger? Transmit, you said the transmit information on a page, right?
Yes, sir. It goes menu, settings, transmit, sideband, then your transmit bandwidth selection, of which we want 100 to 2900, and then most logically it would go into your transmit equalization page. Would be the next step. Roger?
Equalization page would be the next step. Roger? Roger. Transmit equalization page. Okay, hey, appreciate that information. Of course, I don't fully understand this radio since I had it. This particular radio has all kinds of bells and whistles that I'm not familiar with yet. I was from the old school days when I had they call it equipment, the separate transmitter and the separate receiver, separate power supply. Then I went from that over to Kenwood. The 438 28. And then I had a friend who really passed away, and his wife gave me so the bells and whistles on it, but I have not even begin to understand how it operates, over.
Roger, roger. Okay, so we've got some numbers for you if you want to copy on your notes. After we establish that we can get that radio in the wide transmit bandwidth, we move to your compressor processor, and we're only looking for just a third of that capability. You're so small that you would never really hear it on the air, but we're suggesting a 3 on your transmit, on your compressor processor, on and add a 3. Roger, roger. Or that's a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100, depending on how your compressor processor is labeled. Roger.
Your compressor processor is labeled. Roger. Roger, roger. Okay, appreciate that. And I'll begin to over.
Roger, and then we move on from there to set our level, our transmit level, and it's done by with your hand on your mic gain control. As you say the word audio, you adjust your mic level control to where your ALC meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. So I'll repeat that for you for making those notes. You're looking at your ALC meter as you say the word audio, and you're just interested in the first part of that word, the and it's spoken at a level that would resemble your normal Qso level. Don't stress that word, just say it like you would say any other word in a Qso, and adjust your mic gain control until your ALC meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger? Roger, roger.
Roger, roger. So then once we get that, your modulation level, we move over to your equalization page. And I'm not real sure at this point what that would be. I usually go for a little more articulation than where we are at the moment. So I would say at least 2 clicks of additional treble boost from your EQ page. And the other part of that would be equalizer 2, which is your mid-range. You want that to be flat or off. In other words, we want the mid-range to be all that it can be, but not pushed or cut by the equalizer. So EQ2, the mid-range equalizer, should be off or plus or minus 0 flat. Roger?
Or plus or minus 0 flat. Roger? Roger, roger.
Okay, so then if you then go to your treble EQ, if you have the ability on that radio to insert a specific frequency, the ideal push or cut frequency for the treble control is 2.7 kilohertz. Might make a note of that. 2.7 kilohertz if you can put a frequency into EQ3. Some radios will let you do that and some won't. And in addition, some radios will let you specify the shape of that equalizer page and the treble equalizer. In other words, you can have a sharp equalization curve, which is very pointy and very specific at 2700, but you can widen it out and have it more broader than that. And we suggest a 4. We suggest if you can control your shape of that equalizer signal, we prefer a 4. Roger, roger?
We prefer a 4. Roger, roger? Roger, roger.
And then the other thing would be on the bottom side, equalizer 1, the bass control. We don't know what that is until we get the top side, the treble worked out fairly nicely, and then we can go and chop or boost the bottom side. But it's going to be at a frequency of 200 hertz on equalizer 1, your bass control. And so it'll probably wind up to be -5 or somewhere in there, but we don't know until we hear actually the sound of your voice, Roger.
Actually, the sound of your voice, Roger. Roger.
And that's about it. But so I would say get your book, try to find those places, see what you can do about cranking in the numbers that we suggested, and then maybe next week, if you get the chance, come back and join us, and we'll see what it sounds like and what we need to do or don't. Roger?
We'll see what it sounds like and what we need to do or don't. Roger? Roger, and this frequency is 7.188. Is that a Roger?
Yes, sir, 7188. And we are on the air from 3:30 till 5 each Friday afternoon, all things being equal and the creeks don't rise, Roger.
All things being equal and the creeks don't rise, Roger. Roger. Thank you very much for that information. And I will make note. Over.
Yes, sir, Stan. Maybe we'll see you next Friday. Love to. And also, between now and then, we are recording as we go. And if you would like to hear how your radio sounds at the moment, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger? Roger, and what's it called again? Over?
There is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, KC9VKV, and my name is Jim, Roger?
KC9VKV, and my name is Jim, Roger? KC9VKV, is that a Roger?
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
And Victor Kilo Victor. Victor Kilo Victor. Okay. my ears are getting old, and I can't catch the call signs on the fly. Over.
Yes, sir. Well. Got to work on that too. I don't know. I don't. Luckily, have not had to think about hearing aids. But boy, certainly would be an experience, Roger.
Certainly would be an experience, Roger. Roger. Now, to get to, did you say? How can I get that information again? Did you say? Did you give me a website to go to, or did you give me the? How did you tell me to get that information over?
All right, sir. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Followed by the word logbook will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger? Roger. Thank you very much. And what's the handle again? Over?
Roger, handle is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger?
Roger, handle is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger? Roger, Jim. Hey, thank you very much for that information. And I'll be working on that within the next week or so, and try to see can I get this thing going. And I'll see from 3:30 to 5 on Fridays. So I'll join you in the future when I can and get the chance. Give you a shout. And thank you very much. KC9VKV. This is WB4 KIM. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. Over.
Roger, Stan, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and like I said, we'll hopefully look forward to seeing you next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Delta 4 Romeo Oscar November.
Romeo Oscar November, would you please maybe give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system so that I might try to find a better situation to copy the mail. Roger?
Find a better situation to copy the mail. Roger? QSL on that. Name here.
Icon 7300 through a ZF6BKW modified G5RB and choose about 50 foot up and inverted B.
Roger, Roger, Ron. Okay, so what is the call sign again? Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Delta 4 Romeo Oscar November.
Romeo Oscar November, Roger, Roger. And what's your location, sir?
I am located in a relatively small-ish town of Lincoln, Georgia. Romeo, India, November.
Georgia. Romeo, India, November.
Charlie, Oscar, November.
Is down in the Savannah, Georgia area.
Roger, Roger. And the name is Ron, Roger?
Roger, Roger. And the name is Ron, Roger? QSL on that, sir.
Roger, so I'm on my Georgia SDR, and you're doing me about 12 to 15 over, so really, really nice signal. If you are interested in our setup, it starts with you double-checking to be sure that 7300 is in the wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Wide 100 to 2900, Roger, Roger?
Bandwidth. Wide 100 to 2900, Roger, Roger? Roger on that, sir. From the stand that was just on, I kind of followed through. We are on wide transmit band. My transmit base is 0, and my treble is at +3.
Okay, so you have another setting. It's called wide. And we want you in that setting because that lets your transmitter be all that it can be. Not quite $3,000, but 2,900, and then it gives you a break so you don't wind up into somebody else's conversation. That's the problem with a 3 KC signal, is you're out on the sidebands and you're right into somebody else's lap. So with that wide transmit bandwidth, you're at 100 to 2,900, and that lets your transmitter be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight to keep you from being into somebody else's conversation, Roger?
Keep you from being into somebody else's conversation, Roger? QSL on that. Pretty sure I do. Yes, I am in wideband.
Yes, sir. 100 to 2,900, Roger?
Yes, sir. 100 to 2,900, Roger? QSL on that.
Yes, sir. Great. Now we move to your compressor, and we want that on at a 3. That's just a token amount, but it does just exactly what we need it to do. You'll never hear it on the air. Nobody's going to say, hey, he's running a compressor. No, 3 is just off the map, but it does just exactly what we need to do. So on that 7300 compressor on at a 3, Roger?
On that 7300 compressor on at a 3, Roger? QSL on that. Compressor is on and it's set at 3.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so now we move to set your modulation level. As you look at your ALC meter, we want you to also have a hand on your mic gain control. And as you say the word audio, and we're only interested in the first part of that word, the part, and if you were to say that word just as you would say any other word in a QSO, the closer you can get to that level, the closer we're going to be to having a nice modulation set. So it is, as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, you adjust your mic level control until your AOC meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger, roger.
Sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger, roger.
QSL on that. I'm going to give that a shot right now. Audio. 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 I think I've got it there, Jim.
Yes, sir, and I'm looking at your signal on a VU meter tied to the output of my 7300. The 7300, as you know, goes down to 100 cycles in transmit receive, so I'm getting a much better frequency response from my 7300 audio as I would from, say, SDRs. SDRs tend to roll out there at about 300 cycles, 250 cycles, or whatever, but that 7300 is good down to 100 cycles. If you're not in, as long as you're in that wide mode and you're not running, I guess filter. I'm in filter 1, and I'm also as far as that gain on the AGC, I'm running in slow. For my receiver. I usually don't get into a bunch of receiver stuff. Mine is basically transmitter setup. And so after we get that modulation level set, which you look really good at having performed, we would move to the equalization page. I think it's called, I was trying to think what it's called. They call it something like frequency coloring or something, I don't know. But basically, it is equalization, and you would follow that if you went to on your menu, settings, transmit sideband, and then you would be into your setting for the bandwidth, and then after the bandwidth you would be on your EQ page. So that's where you would be if you wanted to try to adjust your equalization after I give it a little listen, Roger.
Adjust your equalization after I give it a little listen, Roger.
Okay, I'm trying to find where you said that is. Is that going to be in receive?
No, in transmit. So listen to the sequence. It is menu, settings, transmit, sideband, then to your transmit bandwidth, and then into your equalization page, right in that area. Roger, roger.
Equalization page, right in that area. Roger, roger.
All right, I think I'm there. Single sideband, and that's where I got my TX bass, TX treble, transmit band wide, and so forth. Am I following you correctly?
Yes, sir. That's the place. And what are your current numbers? That's what's called a two-band EQ situation, and it verifies something that I've often said myself, that I don't want to mess with those mid frequencies in the audio spectrum. They should be unfiltered, fluttered. They should be what they are without too much coloration. So much so that ICOM doesn't even put in a mid-range EQ. They don't want anybody to mess with that. They want to do the catch up on the top and the bottom. So what it would be on your treble. Since you do not have the capability of putting in a frequency, it's really simple. You just boost up that treble EQ3 to about 4 clicks boost. 4 clicks boost on your treble EQ. Roger, Roger.
On your treble EQ. Roger, Roger.
All right, I'm currently set at 3, +3. You want me to go to +4?
Go take it on to 5. Take it on to 5. Roger, Roger.
Go take it on to 5. Take it on to 5. Roger, Roger.
All right, the treble is at +5 now. +5.
Roger, Roger. And I thought, do you have some time? I have been thinking about some things that might be interesting to experiment with. If you had some time to get involved with that, maybe 10 minutes or so.
Time to get involved with that, maybe 10 minutes or so.
Yes, sir, I think so. You can hear one of the grands over here by me. Yes, I do believe so.
Okay, so this has to do with equalization, trying to max the linearity of your signal as in the transmit mode. So what it is, I have a frequency meter, an analyzer, spectrum analyzer that I'm looking at your signal with. Now it also looks at my signal as I speak. Okay, so now, but the recording and the signal that it sees when I speak is from a house mix system. You know, it's not transmitted, so my signal is going to be, perfect, and it's just linear across the spectrum analyzer from 100 cycles up to 3 or thereabouts. So it is seeing everything that I say, and it's showing it as very flat across the spectrum. So what I'm interested in is if I could get your signal through equalization to be as transparent across the bandwidth as mine, we would have created something really unique. And it has to do now, I've got your top end nailed in pretty close. So what I'm looking for now is for us to work on that equalizer 1, the base frequency control. Equalizer 1, the base frequency control. And I would ask you what current reading that base EQ control is showing at the moment.
Reading that base EQ control is showing at the moment.
On base, I am currently set to +1.
Yes, sir. Okay, so what I want you to do then is move up that push to a +4. A +4 on equalizer 1, your base EQ control. +4 on your base EQ control. Roger?
+4 on your base EQ control. Roger?
QSL on that. We are now set at +4 on base.
Yes, sir. Okay, so go ahead and take that up to +5. Max out your base. We're still shy a little bit on the bottom end, so let's just see where that EQ1 takes us on my spectrum analyzer. Roger?
EQ1 takes us on my spectrum analyzer. Roger?
Roger that. We are currently set at TX level +5, and the TX treble is at +5 as well. Both selections on +5.
Yes, sir. Okay, so what I want you to do, is that the supplied hand mic that you're using at the moment?
Yeah, the supplied hand mic that you're using at the moment?
Yes, sir. This is the hand mic 219er. 219er.
Okay, so what I want you to do is to start using that mic. Instead of maybe speaking directly into it, I want you to offset it to the corner of your lips, actually touching the corner of your lips at about a 45-degree angle from head in, about a 45-degree angle on that hand mic. That will reduce any kind of mouth noises that that hand mic might cause, and it does cause some noise if you work it straight in. So we don't want to do that. We want to work it to pull it to the corner of your lips, talk across it at approximately a 45-degree angle. Roger, Roger?
At approximately a 45-degree angle. Roger, Roger?
Roger, Roger, sir. Mic is now at corner of lips at approximately 45 degrees, and TX bass and TX treble both still set at 5.
Yes, sir. I would go with it like that. Now, you are actually touching the corner of your lips. Roger, Roger?
We're actually touching the corner of your lips. Roger, Roger?
That is correct. If you think of the hand mic 219, the logo at the top is basically right at the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to run the mic like that, but I want you to go back and reset your transmit modulation level, because your signal's a little hotter now, the way you're working it, than what it was. So we're back to that ALC meter as you say the word audio, and you know how to say that word at the right level, and adjust your mic level until you're reading in that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter.
In that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter.
QSL on that. Here, oh, my ALC is way up there. All right. Audio, 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 audio.
Yes, that looked really good. Now I want you to tell me in about 15 seconds or 10 seconds what you like about your 7300, Roger?
10 seconds. What you like about your 7300, Roger?
Mic gain, and it seems like that's in the sweet spot, but the 7100 is my very first HF radio, and I was informed by a bunch of people. I think I'm 4.5 years into this, and I was informed by everyone about making a choice. I'm an Icon guy. It's an Icon 73. Friday once, and I have absolutely loved this radio. And we moved 6 months ago and just got now antennas back up, so we're just back in the game.
Yes, sir. So I'm now into my local receiver audio, which has got, as I mentioned earlier, a lot better frequency response of your signal than a internet SDR receiver. And you are very flat in your audio spectrum transmission, but I'm just curious now, if we were to roll off just a tad of that, maybe 2 clicks roll back on that push on EQ1, the bass, so we want it at plus 3, Roger, on that bass EQ control 1.
We are now back at EQ1 TX bass at +3.
Roger, Roger. I think we would roll there right now. We could maybe do some more, but I would like to have had a better signal on you. I have you're probably about a 7, and so my spectrum analyzer is seeing noise in addition to signal, and a spectrum analyzer will amplify the channel noise just as well as it would the audio signal. So I can't be more specific with this signal, but maybe next week, maybe we might have better propagation and a better signal, and then maybe we could zero in on that base just a little bit more. Right now, like I say, it's very close to all the way down to 100 cycles, Roger.
QSL on that. I greatly appreciate the time you have spent. And one ham in particular told me I need to get in touch with you now that I'm back on, so here we are, thank goodness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you've have just been marvelous as far as being able to work with. And I really appreciate your knowledge and your expertise. And like I say, maybe next Friday, if you get a chance, join us, and we'll work on that base frequency 1 EQ a little bit more, maybe.
Work on that base frequency 1 EQ a little bit more, maybe.
All right, sir. As I was sitting in the background waiting, I've kind of heard the band level kind of getting a little bit more noisy. You have spent. Appreciate the time that you have spent helping me get my 7300 where it probably should have been to begin with.
Roger. Well, definitely worth it there. Ron, and the radio, the 7300 is just, it is frankly my favorite radio, even though they do have a big sister or brother now, that 7300 Mark II or whatever it is. And I'm not familiar with that radio, but I just love my 7300. That's what you're listening to now, Roger.
I love my 7300. That's what you're listening to now, Roger.
Yes, sir. I understand that the Mark II is out there, but I think I'm just going to stick with this guy right here. It does everything. And, I've just gone back to look at my meters page, and the ALC looks much better now. But this 7300 is mine till I am gone.
Yes, sir. Roger. And somebody later on down the road is going to be very, very happy also. Don't want to talk about that stuff, but whatever. Anyway, let me say 73 there, Ron. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do that call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
QSL on that, Jim. As said, very much greatly appreciate your expertise and the fact that you get out there and help us hams make our radios even better.
Yes, sir. Well, who knows? Unless you really push something, you never know how good it can be. And that's exactly the thing about your transmit bandwidth. Just say, for instance, that somehow along the line, maybe that radio had been tuned up before, and somebody just arbitrarily put it in some kind of a strange transmit bandwidth like 500 to 2500. If you didn't check that, you would spend the rest of your life in some kind of a twanky a transmit bandwidth of 500 to 2500, and when you could be operating in that wide 100 to 2900 mode. And the only way that you would know that would be by checking out what it is for sure, Roger.
Would be by checking out what it is for sure, Roger.
Yes, sir. I completely get that. And after 6 months of not having my 7300 on, I realized I need to create me a little startup checklist to go back, and it took a little bit of getting stuff out of the old dusty memory banks to get it set back to where I got it to. You helped me get it even better. So I have recorded these numbers, and we're going to make that part of our standard operational functional check.
Roger, Roger. And just stop and think about the fact also that you have a recording of our conversation. So if there were numbers that you weren't sure of or whatever, you could go to YouTube and research that our recording again, because everything we've said has been recorded, and all those numbers have been recorded, so you can easily reaffirm what suspicions you may have about what frequencies you need, Roger?
What suspicions you may have about what frequencies you need, Roger?
Yes, sir. Very much understood. Well, I'm assuming you're ready to move on to someone else, so I will gladly duck out of your hair and let you get on to someone else.
Roger, Roger, Ron. Well, gosh, 73, sir, and we'll see you next Friday if possible. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo 9, Echo November.
Echo, Echo, November. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign.
November, come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign.
Kilo Echo 9, Echo November.
Roger, Echo, Echo, November. And what's the name there?
Roger, Echo, November. And what's the name there?
Rich, Romeo, India, Charlie, Hotel.
Roger, Rich, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, Rich, and what's your location, sir?
I am in southern Illinois, about an hour northeast of St. Louis. About 1 hour northeast of St. Louis. Roger.
Roger, sir, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, sir, and what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running the same as you, IC 7300. I was wondering how good of a copy you had on the compared to noise, because I recently installed a boom mic and an external EQ. So if you have a good noise, if you have a good signal to noise level on me, I was just kind of curious as far as the audio was sounding. I've got the compressor set and EQ set and everything, but it's mainly with the outboard EQ with this boom microphone.
Roger, Roger, Rich. Well, gosh, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Roger. Well, an IC 7300. So I only got 100 going out into a 40-meter delta loop about 30 feet off the ground. 40-meter delta loop about 30 feet off the ground, Roger.
Roger, Roger, Rich. Okay, so you have verified that your 7300 is in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. Is that a Roger?
The transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. Is that a Roger?
QSL, it is in wide. It is in wide. And like I said, I just installed yesterday a Shure SM58 boom mic, and I have a external 7-band parametric EQ. So basically, the 2-band EQ that is in the iPhone 7300 it's pretty much bypassed. I have it set at a +3 on the treble because a couple other guys that I was talking to last night said that it sounded like I needed a little bit more highs, and my treble, my highs on my external EQ. So on my radio set at 0 at flat, and then I have the treble set at +3. But I do have more or less mid and bass depending on your recommendations, and then as well I will go and listen to the recording tomorrow, Roger.
Oh, roger that. So you are running some external amplified devices on your mic input, is that a roger? Devices on your mic input, is that a roger?
QSL. It's just an 8-band EQ, It's either, let me look at it. Yeah, it's just a 7-band external EQ. There's no power to it or anything. It's just a 7-band external 7-band parametric EQ.
A parametric EQ without power, is that a roger? Without power, is that a roger?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's power. It requires DC power, but it doesn't have any phantom power going back into the microphone. The microphone I'm using is not a condenser microphone.
Yes, sir. The point is, though, that you want your mic gain control to be around a 5, 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that area. Whenever you use external equipment, you do not want to have a really hot signal coming into your mic input. In other words, if you were down around a 1 or a 2 on your mic level control, that level would be actually too hot. It would be way out of minimum situation there. So what you want is a 5, a 3, 4, or let's see here, a 4, 5, or 6. A nominal input level always for your mic control. Roger. Input level always for your mic control. Roger.
Roger. So as far as my mic control, I'm looking at my ALC meter as I'm speaking now in a normal Qso conversation and volume, and it is right at about 80 to 90% on the ALC meter on the 7300, and occasionally, like when I first TF and give a P or something like that, a hard syllable, then it will bump to maybe one red line above the max on the ALC meter on the 7300, and the mic gain on my 7300 is set at 75%.
Roger. Okay, so there is no case of overload possibilities there at that mic level, so that's a good thing. But you know, I pass along this information that for those that may be running exterior powered mics and stuff, the first thing you want to do is put your internal mic level control on a 5, and then adjust your external mic level control until you're in that sweet spot of 7 to 2/3 on your ALC meter. That will ensure that you're operating that external mic at the proper level, so as not to be in a neighborhood of distortion for the input to that 7300. Roger. For the input to that 7300. Roger.
QSL. This microphone nor is the EQ powered. Neither one of them are powered. The equalizer, all it is doing is just changing the equalization, basically the same thing as what the 7300 does, but the 7300 does it with 2 bands, it does it with 7 bands. So there is no power going into the radio from the microphone. The microphone is not a powered microphone.
Roger, sir. Okay, so I am really impressed normally with the 2-band EQ on the ICOM 7300. Bob Heil worked a great deal of wonders for that 7300 mic to be cohesive with the situation of the 7300, there was thoughts that maybe the input sensitivity of the 7300 was not quite what it should be. So Bob Heil's task was to, with the mic, bring that level to a more consistent situation. So at a 5, I would say that's why he went to an electret microphone. For all of his career, pretty much, he'd always been a dynamic microphone manufacturer designer, and the ICOM 7300 was one of the few times that he ventured into electret mics, and so he got his level boost because the output of the 7300 was quite higher than the normal dynamic microphone, and not only that, but he had some upper frequency response capabilities from the electret mic that were not present on a normal dynamic mic. So he got two very important items going there: the increased level and also the increased frequency response top end. So he did quite a job on designing that microphone. The thing is, you have to use that mic in a special way, though. You can't address that mic straight in because it's an electret mic and it needs a little bit more. Actually, what it needs is a foam windscreen. If you can figure out how to put a foam windscreen on a hand mic, I mean, it's done. It's been done, and I've done it. You cut off a little piece or whatever, or you could cut a slit up the top so your PTT is not keyed by when you slip this foam windscreen over the mic. But anyway, that's what it really needs. But in lieu of, if you did not have that or do not have a foam windscreen, what I suggest is that you pull that mic to the corner of your lips and talk across it, and you're looking at it about a 45-degree angle, from the front of your mouth to the corner of your lips. Roger?
Your mouth to the corner of your lips. Roger? QSL. Yeah, I just wasn't happy with the stock mic. I did try putting a windscreen across the top of it, and just a regular windscreen that goes across an external mic, and I just didn't like like you said, it has a lot of huffiness, a lot of whisper, a lot of puffing and stuff like that. So, well, Jim, I'll let you get back to some other operators out there. I appreciate all your time and everything that you've given me, and I will be sure to check out tomorrow's video and see what I sound like. I sure do appreciate all your time. So, Kilo Echo 9, Echo November, clear on your final, sir.
Roger, Rich. Well, unfortunately, I did not have the best signal in the world. You were about a 7. Signal to noise, and that is, I run such a light front end on my receiver that I use my VU meter calibrate to the peak on your voice peaks, and then when you see speaking, it's reading channel noise. So I've got you calibrated for 0 level, and then when you see speaking, I'm looking at a 7 noise level. So you're a 7 over my noise level, Roger.
So you're a 7 over my noise level, Roger.
QSO. Yeah, I've got a little work to do on my amp. So hopefully next Friday my amp will be back in line, and I will have definitely a stronger signal coming into your station. But like I said, I need to do some work on my amp. I swelled a resistor on my parasitic board on my amp. So like I said, all I'm doing is just running barefoot now. So hopefully next week I'll have a little better, stronger signal, and it'll be a little clearer, and we can work a little bit more. So like I said, I appreciate your time, sir, and I will let you get on to other operators. So, Kilo Echo 9, Echo November, clear.
Roger, Roger, Rich, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And like I say, if you get a chance to join us next Friday, that would be great. And between then and now, if you wanted to check out your audio, if you go to YouTube, do the call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. It'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So, 73, Rich. We'll catch you later, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Alpha.
There's a station out there that the Alpha is the beginning. Alpha station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Alpha station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, I got Alpha Echo 5. Is that a Roger? Come back one more time with that call sign.
Alpha Echo 5. Is that a Roger? Come back one more time with that call sign.
Roger. Alpha Echo 5. Juliet Victor.
Juliet Victor. Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
Juliet Victor. Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
My name is Daniel. Delta Alpha November India Echo Lima. Over.
Roger, Roger. Daniel, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger. Daniel, is that a Roger?
Yes, sir. Roger.
Roger, Roger. And what's your location, sir?
Roger, Roger. And what's your location, sir?
I am in central Mississippi, a small town called Pickens, and I'm about 50 miles north of Jackson.
Okay, so I copy your location as Mississippi. Is that a Roger?
Okay, so I copy your location as Mississippi. Is that a Roger?
Okay, so I'm still trying to trudge through my SDRs to find the hottest one. If you would, Daniel, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
See if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
Okay. Said halfway dipole. It's not very far off the ground, maybe 8 feet. Since I'm just in a pasture, no trees. Over.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so I'm trying to revive one of my SDRs. It had gotten off frequency, and I'm trying to get it back onto frequency, and I'm fighting. For some reason, these Amazon tablets have changed pressure necessity for on-screen programming, and so it used to be I could use a stylus very nicely and it would all work well, but then they decided, no, we're going to use the human touch. So now you have to use your fingers, and some of this stuff is pretty small, and my fingers many times are occupying 2 different pressure points at the same time, Roger.
Occupying 2 different pressure points at the same time, Roger.
Okay, so but anyway, if let's see, what radio are you running today, sir?
Let's see, what radio are you running today, sir?
I recently
Oh boy, I've got more SDRs down. I've got 4 though. Anyway, so if you would be interested in our setup procedure, come back with that radio one more time, Roger. What radio are you running?
I am operating on a Kenwood 440F. Over.
440 Frank.
Yes, sir. Kenwood F 440.
Roger, sir. And is the last idea Frank F 440F? Is that a Roger or just a 440?
I think officially it's a 440F. Over.
Okay, so you give me the phonetic of that last word. Is it Sam or Frank or what? What is it?
It would be F, Sam.
Yes, sir. Got it. Okay, so if is that an older radio or a newer radio?
It's an older, probably from the 1980s.
Okay, so it probably does not have a 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, but I don't know. Have you been able to see about the transmit bandwidth for that radio? What is that? Is it 100 to 2900 or lesser than that?
I do not know the answer to that. Over.
Yes, sir. Okay, so put that on your question mark as far as, and it'll tell you in the book what the transmit bandwidth is. What we're ideally looking for is a 100 to 2900 wide transmit bandwidth. That'll let your transmitter be all that it can be, and then give you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So the preferred transmit bandwidth by today's standards is 100 to 2900. If it does not have that bandwidth, then we would want the best one that it does have, but we don't want to go to 3K. We don't want 3,000. We want to stay below 3,000 because we don't want to interfere with somebody else's conversation. So if there is one that lets you get up to 2,900, then I would go for that. 100 to 2,900. If it's called wide, that would be even better. That's the terminology used for that transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2,900. They call it a wide by today's standards. Roger.
I made some contacts and got some very different audio reports, and I just wanted to check in with you and see if I was doing anything wrong on this radio. Over.
Roger. Well, it sounds pretty mid-rangey, so maybe we can broaden it out just a little bit. Let's see. So just make a note on that transmit bandwidth. We want 100 to 2,900 or anything 29, but we don't want 3 because that lets you into somebody else's conversation. So we want to stay at or under 2,900, but the best one under 2,900. So past that, then moving on to your compressor processor. We want that on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. It's just barely operational. We don't look for a bunch of work. We want to handle the compressor processor with a great deal of finesse. We don't want it sucking up between words and all that stuff. And we have found that the best position for your compressor processor is a 3. So we suggest that compressor processor be on at a 3. Roger?
That compressor processor be on at a 3. Roger?
Okay, over. I guess I'm not sure how to tell how to adjust that. I guess I'm not as familiar with this radio. Over.
Okay, so let's see. You have a compressor processor there, and what you need to do probably is take notes and then look at your book and figure out how to get to there. So note whatever it is, 3 or 2 or whatever, is compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
At a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Okay, yes, sir. I will look at my manual on that and try to figure that out. I do have an ALC meter on this radio, and I didn't know exactly where it needed to be.
Roger, that's exactly where we were going. Right after the compressor processor is to your ALC meter to set your modulation level. And so what I want you to do is bring up your local internal modulation, your mic level control. Internal mic level control, one hand on that as you look at your ALC meter, and as you say the word audio, speak it as the level that you would find in most of your Qso conversations. If you really step on that word hard, then your EQ, your modulation level is not going to be correct. So what you want to do is try to resemble that word level-wise as what you would normally speak in your Qso. And the closer you get to that, it will be the better modulation control you have. So as you're looking at your ALC meter and you say the word audio, spoken as you would speak any other word in a Qso, adjust your mic level control until your ALC meter is riding in that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter is the sweet spot. Roger?
2/3 on your ALC meter is the sweet spot. Roger?
Roger that. I'll do that right now. Audio. I've got my mic in about 5 out of over.
Roger. Is this Daniel in Mississippi, Roger?
Roger. Is this Daniel in Mississippi? Roger?
Yes, sir. Over.
Great, thank you. I thought I might have messed up. Sometimes I overlook certain things. But anyway, it is speaking, just as you would speak the level of your Qso. And that's the tricky part. But if you can do that, then and adjust your mic level until your ALC is in that sweet spot, then that's what we want. Roger?
ALC is in that sweet spot, then that's what we want. Roger?
Roger that. I guess I'll try just one more time.
Roger, Daniel. Well, today has not been a real good day propagation-wise, and I do not have a good copy on you. I've been fighting a noise for quite a bit. But if you're interested in going to that EQ, your EQ page, I would suggest 3 clicks additional EQ boost, 3 clicks additional EQ boost. From where you are, Roger, on that radio of yours.
From where you are, Roger, on that radio of yours.
I will try to maybe I can call
Roger, Roger, Daniel, and I remember hearing when I had a better copy on you that your mic did have quite a bit of mid-range in it. It was very mid-rangey, but we were interested in preserving the mid-range as a calibration point, so we don't want to interfere with the mid frequencies, so that mid EQ2, if you have an EQ2, it would be a mid-range control, and we want that flat or off. We want to preserve the mid-range as much as possible, so we want that flat or off. So then it is a matter of bringing up 4 clicks or 3 clicks of additional treble EQ on equalizer number 3, your treble equalizer. And if you have the ability to insert a particular frequency, I would use a 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz as the treble boost frequency. And if you have a shaper, in other words, to control the shape of that EQ point, I would put it on a 4. It would be a lot more smoother at a 4 than it would be at a 1 or a 10. So I would say a 4 if you can shape the EQ curve. Roger?
Let's say a 4 if you can shape the EQ curve. Roger?
Roger that,
And I've just about run out of any propagation there, Daniel. So let me say 73, sir. And maybe again next week we may have some better propagation, and I could hear you a little cleaner that way. Roger?
And I could hear you a little cleaner that way. Roger?
Roger that, sir. Thank you for your help.
Roger, and just before you go, I want to try a really quick experiment. I want you to come up on that mic and really talk to me as best you can on that mic, and just to see how much audio level is left in that radio. So just come up on that mic and give me your call sign and your name again.
I can give me your call sign and your name again.
Okay, my call sign is Alpha Echo 5 Juliet Victor, and I am also concerned. I have a hand mic, and I don't even know the correct mic because it's a Kenwood 42 and the book is saying I need a Kenwood 43. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, your mod level really came up there, so I would run it like that. I did not hear a bunch of distortion, but I was able to copy your words a lot better than anything before that. Roger?
A lot better than anything before that. Roger?
Okay, Roger that. I'm talking right almost against the mic. And before, it was maybe a couple of inches from my mouth over.
Yes, sir. Well, that sounds really good to me. It's not distorted, and the words have life, and more importantly, they have volume. So I would run it like that, Roger. Roger.
I would run it like that, Roger. Roger.
Okay, well, Roger that. I think I have learned something then. Where I should be using this hand mic. So, Mr. Jim, thank you for your help on this. Over.
Roger, so you're using a hand mic right at the moment?
Roger, so you're using a hand mic right at the moment?
Yes, sir. Over.
Okay, sir. So what you want to do is don't work directly into that mic. Work to the corner of your lips at about a 45-degree angle to that mic, and that will be a lot closer to not having transient wind noise in there. And if you get a chance, you might consider a foam windscreen for that mic. You have to use a great deal of creativity to get a foam windscreen on a hand mic, but all things being equal and being a dedicated ham radio operator, I'm sure you would figure out a way to do that, and that would be the best of both worlds, because that that hand mic really does sound good, except for the fact that it is susceptible to plosives and transients when you work directly into it. But like I say, if you use a 45-degree angle to it and actually touch the corner of your lips, that should be perfect. Roger?
You touch the corner of your lips, that should be perfect. Roger?
Okay, roger that. I've got it at 45 degrees right now. Does that sound any better? Over?
Yes, sir. That sounds perfect. I would run it just like that. Roger, roger.
Yes, sir. That sounds perfect. I would run it just like that. Roger, roger.
Okay, roger. Well, thank you for all the help. This old radio is kind of an upgrade for me, and I just been wanting help with it. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, it's like I say, I don't think it was propagation that shifted. I think it was your newfound modulation level that really made the difference about me being able to copy your words. So with that in mind, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logmat, followed by the word logbook. Senior moment. KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. It will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
100, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Okay, roger that. And thank you so much again for the help. 85JB.
Roger, roger, sir. 73. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll see you next Friday if you get a chance. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 4, Lima Kilo Golf.
The station ending in golf. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo 4, Lima Kilo Golf.
Kilo Golf. Roger, roger. What's the name there?
The name here is David, and I'm in Hampton, Virginia. And I rarely get up on this band, and I definitely wanted to check in with you. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Doing fine, sir. And what radio is that you're running today?
This is a Wolf All Mode. It's a DDC DUC SDR. It's kind of a unique radio. Over.
Roger, roger. Well, if you're interested in our setup procedures, sir, you would be kind of trying to get that in the wide, making sure that it's in that wide transmit bandwidth, TBW, 100 to 2900. That is the current best setting for radios. It's called wide, 100 to 2900 on your transmit bandwidth. Roger?
Numbers now. And what was the amount?
100 to 2900, and it would be menu settings, transmit sideband. Right there, or the next step would be where your TBW transmit bandwidth would be located. And is that a newer radio or an older radio?
It's a new radio, and it's it's very customizable if I can get into the bandwidth setting, which I'm looking for now. But, yeah, I appreciate your comments, and back to you.
Yes, sir. So, do you have a book on that radio?
Yes, sir. And I'm going to undo my little bit of compression I've got now. I'm back to no compression, if that made a difference. Over.
Roger. Well, you're pretty hot into your ALC. That's the problem. So let's work with it just a moment if you have time. We want that, make a note. We want that transmit bandwidth to be 100 to 2900. It's called wide, and it lets your transmitter frequency response be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So it would be your transmit bandwidth would be 100 to 2900 on your note, Roger.
QSL, got that. Proceed to the next one.
Yes, sir. And into your compressor processor, we want that on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Just a token amount. A 3 does not suck up between words. It is a very nice setting to help you, but it doesn't. It's a great deal of finesse at a 3, and that's what we want. So your compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
QSL, and that's where I have it set now, but I've noted 3 out of 100. Got it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so you're really hot into your ALC for set modulation level. So what we want you to do is put your hand on your mic gain control as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would say any other word in a QSO. Don't stress it. Just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO, audio, and adjust your mic level control until your ALC meter is in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3, and you'll be really hot right now, so you'll be turning down. Roger.
QSL received. I did turn the mic boost off, and I need to go find that setting. But QSL, any better with the mic boost off?
Oh yes, that helped a great deal. Now, but you want to set your level. The magic word is audio, and I specifically chose that word because if you look at that word on a spectrum analyzer, it's just wall-to-wall harmonics, and so it's an excellent word to set a level with. And you become a human test tone generator as you say that word audio, and we're just interested in the first half of that word. Don't worry about the back end. It's just the set level part that we want you to adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is in that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger?
QSL received. And I do have a somewhat of a scope here. Audio. K4LKG in Hampton, Virginia. K4LKG. Over.
Roger, still sounds a little hot. I don't know. Might want to say the word a little hotter or not, but it should resemble just the same level that you would say any other word in a QSO. Audio, and like I say, don't worry about the last half of that, just because you become a human test tone generator, and we're looking for that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter.
QSL received. All right, I am going to dive down deep into this, and I'm going to let somebody else get in there. But again, I really appreciate your time and effort with everybody, and especially me, or including me. But I appreciate everything. 73 K4LKG.
Roger, Roger, David, and if that is a hand mic that you're using, go ahead and work that microphone off to the side of your lips. Actually, touch the side of your lips and come off at a 45-degree angle to that microphone from straight ahead. We don't want you to work that hand mic straight in because it causes noise and plosives and all kinds of stuff. So, but if you work it to the side there, to actually touch your lips and work it at an angle, it alleviates all of those transient noises. Roger?
Again, that's something I didn't know either. I'm doing it now. This is a stock mic. It's very hollow and plastic. I've got a Heil Pro Elite headset with the HC6 in it, but I don't have the adapter cord. DX Engineering's got those coming to me. They should be here Monday, and then I'll at least be able to set up the Heil mic over.
Yes, so that sounds just beautiful working it that way. And it sounds to me like that's an electret microphone in that hand mic body. So you have to spend some bucks to get a better sound, than that electret condenser microphone in that hand mic that you're using. Roger, Roger?
Yes, sir. It is an electret, but the sound I'm hoping the sound on my Heil headset will have a similar, but are you suggesting I'm going to need to go and dial that in different than this hand mic over?
Could be. Now, if your headset coming does have an electret microphone, probably would not require much retuning at all. Usually, what I suggest on those headset mics is that you move that element down in front of you as far as you can get, and then at the last minute make a 90. But try to keep that element in front of you further as you can. Roger?
Correct. So if it's on a boom in front of me, it's kind of off to the side like the 45 you've got me holding my mic now, over.
Roger, I'll tell you what would be an interesting experiment. If you went back to your ALC meter and looked at your current modulation level, we would want to approximate that with your boom microphone, so you could plus or minus the distance from yourself to the mic, and try to get an average similar to where you are with that mic. Roger?
Yes, sir. I'm at that approximate distance now. Well, I'm looking more at it. But you're right, this is about the right distance that the Heil mic sits, over.
Yes, sir. So, your ALC meter is, in my estimation, one of the most important meters on that radio, because it'll tell you what's going on better than your best friend down the road. Roger?
Okay, I will look in deeper into the controls on this. Again, I did not want to monopolize your time. You've already helped me so much, but all right. I think that's an improvement, over.
Yes, sir. It really sounds nice, and if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Well, that is very kind. That's great. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, what was it last?
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. KC9VKV, and on the search it's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. Roger?
Roger. Thank you so much, and I'll talk at you later. K4LKG.
Roger, David, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. And with all that being said, we got to get out of here and return this frequency back. But before we do, if you participated in today's transmission and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, it'll take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,700. And like I say, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So with that being said, we got to get out of here, return the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, clear. Tango station, come back with your call sign one more time, please.
Come back with your call sign one more time, please. Kilo, Oscar 4, Hotel, Foxtrot, Tango.
Okay, I had a little disturbance in the middle of that, so one more time, phonetically, slowly.
Kilo, Oscar 4, Hotel, Foxtrot, Tango.
Okay, so the latter part is Hotel Foxtrot Tango. Is that a Roger?
Okay, so the latter part is Hotel Foxtrot Tango. Is that a Roger? That's a Roger.
Roger, Hotel Foxtrot Tango. And what's the name there?
Foxtrot Tango. And what's the name there?
My name is Wayne, and calling from Virginia.
Okay, so give me phonetically what your name is, please.
Whiskey, Alpha, Yankee, November, Echo.
Roger, Wayne, and what radio is that you're running at the moment?
Roger, Wayne, and what radio is that you're running at the moment?
It is a ICOM 7100, and I'm running with a Palomar NFED 160.
Okay, so, Wayne, if you would, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Roger.
Okay. I have a Palomar running a 7100.
Roger. Okay, I do have just a minimum copy on you, but maybe we could improve things. Is that an older radio or newer radio, Wayne?
Improve things. Is that an older radio or newer radio, Wayne?
This radio a year or a little longer. I don't know when the 7100 came out. I think in 2016-ish maybe. But it's about a year to 2 years old.
Okay, so what we're interested in is to get it in the best transmit bandwidth that we can. Usually, maybe, if it has a reading called wide, 100 to 2900, that would be what we would want to put that radio in as far as the transmit transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900 is the preferred transmit bandwidth. However, due to its age, it may not have that capability, but we want the widest possibility that there is, provided that it's not 3K or above. We don't want to go to 3K. We want to try to stay around 2900 and then have a slice of daylight before we are into somebody else's conversation. So ideally, we want that radio to be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger?
In the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger?
Roger. I'll have to look in my manual and find where all these things are. I was very curious about the last man you were talking with, and I wasn't sure how my mic was coming. My transmission was coming across to everybody. Back to you.
Roger, Roger. So that's why we have a list, a sequential list of things that we do in a particular way that facilitates winding up with a radio that is ready to go. So just if you would now take a note to self that we want that transmit bandwidth to be in the 100 to 2900 wide capability if you have it available. Roger?
Wide capability if you have it available. Roger?
Well, Wayne, I think we're about out of propagation, but if you can copy me, I'm going to give you a list of things for you to make a note of and check your book as to where they are. The first thing is what we were talking about, that transmit bandwidth. We want that to be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It's called wide. Then once past that, we're into your compressor processor. And we want your compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. So that's your compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. All right, so then we want to move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, you say it just as you would say any other word in a QSO. Don't stress it, just say it as any other word. And as you say it, adjust your mic level control until your ALC meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. So as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word, you become a human test tone generator, and adjust your mic level control until your ALC meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Meter is running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger?
I got that. Is there anything else?
No, sir, that's about it. Well, the next thing would be EQ, but I do not have a good enough copy on you to do that, although I would suggest that based on many transmitter setups that I've done, that usually a couple of clicks of additional treble EQ usually helps as far as being able to copy the mail on being able to hear the word articulated as best as possible. So if you make it to your EQ, we would want the mid-range to be flat or off. The mid-range EQ, number 2, we would want that to be off or flat. And then to EQ3, which is the treble control, we would want that to be plus 2 clicks boost from where you are. And if you can insert a frequency in that treble EQ, we would want 2700, 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz if you can insert a frequency into EQ3. And also, if you can shape EQ3, we would want a 4 EQ shape on that equalizer. Roger?
Shape on that equalizer. Roger?
Roger. It's all very interesting. Thank you. If you can hear me.
Yes, sir, Wayne. Okay, so, gosh, we got to get out of here, man. We have, we're running late. So let me say 73, Wayne, and I hope you have those notes, and maybe you can crank them in, and join us next Friday, and we'll see how all those numbers work out for you. 73 for now, and if you wanted to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3700, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Well, Roger that. Thank you very much for your help.
Roger, Wayne, 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, returning the frequency back to amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, clear.